also static testing. I hope everyone already read the review, okay, and read the slides or listen to the recorded slides in the Kalam for static testing. And if you have any questions, you can ask me privately or send to my WhatsApp. All right. In this chapter here, we'll discuss about dynamic testing in terms of white box testing. The previous part we discussed dynamic testings with black box testing. So in this chapter, we will learn different techniques that will be used in the white box testing. If you remember, in the black box testings, we learned the equivalent partitioning technique, decision table, boundary values analysis, and also there is a use case testing. There is another technique which is combinatorial testing. We will learn later. Also belong to the dynamic black box testing. In this part or in this chapter, we'll discuss another techniques belong to white box testing. White box testing, it is structure based. Why it names white box or structure based? So we test the system in terms of structure, the code, the design, the structure itself, not about the requirement. So here we test from the structure. We create the test cases based on the structure. We test in the structure like the path, statement, code coverage, decision coverage. As we know that in the code, we have many lines or statements. We name them statements or lines. In this also code, we have branch, we have decisions, we have loops, we have whiles, okay, if conditions. So how can we test all these things? So we learn several techniques here called statement coverage, path coverage techniques, or decision coverage or branch coverage testing techniques only here. The others maybe for advanced later if you want to continue your knowledge about advanced testing. So then you will differentiate between all these parts and also how you can apply all these techniques. And also it can be used as assessments during exit criteria. If you remember in the testing plan, we have entry criteria and exit criteria. So how you can make your decision to stop testing. To stop your testing will be based on matrices, based on tools that will help you, based on measurements, right? If you remember, how can we stop our testing? So it depends on the coverage that maybe I cover all the functions, maybe I cover all the boundaries, maybe I cover all the functionalities, maybe I cover all the line of the code, maybe I cover the critical parts. So here in the white box testing, we can use statement coverage, decision coverage, or path coverage as a measurement tools to tell us how many statements have been covered if we test. So, and also maybe we'll use branch coverage. So during the testing, we already covered 80% of the branches given in that code, or maybe path coverage. Okay, so with these tools also can be as or these techniques can be used as a measurement tools in the products in the procedure of product development. So these terms you should remember: exit criteria, decision coverage, path coverage, code coverage, structure testing based or white box based testings, or statement coverage, experience based exploratory testings. This one just overview about the concept of white box testings. We have what is the difference between white box and black box, we will cover. And it is a structure based. We will learn something called control flow based, data flow based, or condition based. We will use the control flow. In the control flow, we will learn the statement coverage, path coverage, and decision coverage. So you will learn like control flow. Here we will learn decision coverage, path coverage, statement coverage only The rest here, all these will be for advanced. Only we will cover 3 techniques here: decision coverage, path coverage, or statement coverage. In the decision coverage, we have something called branch coverage as well. So what is the difference between white box and the black box? I already discussed this with you last time also. Now, again, in the black box, we don't know how is the process will be, how is the process inside the system during the testing. We only create, so the test cases will be based on the specification in the black box. So when we create the test cases, we create also the expected output, and then we just key in the inputs and we check our expected output with the actual result. But we don't know what is the coverage here. Only we test here based on the specification. We don't test based on the structure. We test based on the requirement, the specification. In the white box, no. When we create the input, the test cases, later I will show you with the example, we create the test cases that will show what are the coverage by that test case. So the test case will be created based on the structure, not based on the specification, based on the structure. And also the testing here is not about what is the output, what is the result. It's about what is the coverage here. So we test the coverage, the structure. Based on this test case, what are the coverage, the decisions, the branches or statements that have been covered. We don't check the expected output with the result. We want to get the how many coverage or what is the coverage based on this test cases created. Okay, this is the another example. Show in the black box, we just put the test cases and we check the output. But here we put the input test cases. We show what is the we can see here the output here. We check here. We don't check the output. We only check the coverage inside. We can see how is that test case go through the code. Another terms here for white box testing, it is testing based on analysis, based on the internal structure. This is another term or another definition. If you are given a question, what is the difference between white box and black box? First, you have to give a definition that this case, black box testing, it is based on the specification, based on the requirement. And here it will be based on the analysis or the structure based on the content of that system. There are several techniques, as I said. What are the test design techniques? It's a procedure to drive or to select the test cases based on the structure, based on the analysis. We can use the level of the structure like branch, path, or data, and decision coverage. Here in the structure views, we have a control flow, data flow, condition flow. These two here will be for advanced. We will not cover these two branches. We will cover only control flow based. Over here, we will discuss